Yeah, I think people who choose to spend their time complaining about, like, it's like they want things to be bad. I don't know. It's just a bit too much of it going around. Devotion. I don't know if I'd say like it's good or bad, but I think it's problematic. So like as a concept, I don't like it too much because like it kind of punishes you for teching, right? Like I don't know that I want something. Like I get the idea of it. Oh, like don't have any neutrals. That's a trade-off. But it just makes decks that are more binary and matchups that are more binary. Like you auto lose to Self Wound because you don't have graveyard hate, or you auto lose to this because you don't have any purifies. Like with the way Gwent is, I don't really like it. Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, like everybody has a right to their opinion, and some of them, they may have very well like valid reasons for how they feel. I'm not here to tell them they shouldn't feel the way they do. I just don't really enjoy people who spread negativity and like get upset if you're not as negative as they are. It's like, I'm sorry that it's not fun for you, and I wish that it was. But it is for me, so I'm gonna keep having fun, and I'm gonna make sure other people who feel the same way have a place to, enjoy it, like, with other people. I don't know. Sorry, I can't, like, talk and think at the same time. Would have been a tie if I hadn't used the leader. Practice, if I don't play Gona, I can't be competitive unless I play some of the other meta stuff. I mean, I made a new vampire deck that didn't have any of the Golden Necker stuff, and I did fine with it. 25-20, I think, is fine for me, and a better player could get much higher. Syndicate off the books is not Golden Necker. It's one of the strongest decks at the moment. Super competitive. The Scoia'tael decks are not Golden Necker decks. They're super competitive. They're tier 0. So, like, there's, like, 3 or 4 Golden Necker decks and 3 or 4 non-Golden... Well, 2 or 3 non-Golden Necker decks. I guess I'm not sure, like, I see that as a problem. I mean... Like, when I see Spirit complain about people's shitty play, I'm like, hey, I play like that. And he's right, and my play is bad, and... But, like, his problem is that that's what happens when the game loses players. And honestly, like, when you sit there and you go on and on about how garbage the game is and how people shouldn't play the game because the meta sucks right now and they don't start and wait for the patch, like... Why do you think there aren't a lot of players? What do you do when you want to know if a game's good? You go on Twitch and you watch somebody else play it before you invest time and effort in it, right? Well, if the guy's bitching the whole time and saying he's miserable and he looks unhappy, why the hell would you go play that game? I don't know. Just that's what I have to say about that. Like a clue, Sherlock. Like, Cosmin, the SS should get a life. Please don't say stuff like that. That's rude and also not true. Like, the man is an amazing part of the community. He's been doing this for years. He creates great content. If you don't like his stuff, don't watch it. It's fine. It's not your cup of tea, right? Saying get a life is pretty rude. I don't like that comment. Please don't say that. If I don't, I won't be able to stick there. You tried restarting. You ranked according to their skill notes because their interest process. I mean, there's definitely like. I gotta play this turn first. Only a handful of the 50 plus decks in the top 16 on Golden Necker. Okay, the fact that people are pro rank and it annoys someone, like, that has nothing to do with the current meta. It has to do with the way you get to pro rank. Like, personally, I don't like it either, but I understand why it's that way. Like, there's a reason CDPR wanted it that way. And I get it. It's not like a silly reason. People don't like it when they're told that their actual skill in a game. They like to feel like they're progressing. And so that's what happens. As you play, when you're not in pro rank, you just keep going up. I think my personal suggestion would be that you should have to reach pro rank with 4 factions to be in pro rank. Right now, I can play just relics, get to pro rank, and then, you know, I'm there. And so for people who care about the quality of gameplay, they get matched against that stuff, and they're like, they want good games. They want a challenge where they feel like they're being challenged on a skill level. They want a tough match. They don't want a match where it's, like, tough because, like, every 5 minutes somebody slaps them in the face or, like, shakes the board or something. They want it to be tough because their opponent is outthinking them. So if they're not getting good matches, it's because either the matchmaking system isn't good or there's not enough players. And he thinks, like, he's addressing the symptom, which is that there's shitty players he's matched with. But that's a symptom, not the cause. The cause is that there's not enough players for everyone to get matched. There's not enough high-level players in Gwent for Spirit to have good games every game. I think, personally, that he could help alleviate that by being a bit more positive, but also I haven't been in his shoes and I haven't done it for 4 years. Maybe I'd be just as pissy and bitter as him if I had. So I try not to judge. Okay? Cosmos shares some of his personal experience. The first half he saw the same decks, and then he's been seeing more diversity. Never has anything good about the game. That's not true. I mean, I hear him say nice things as well. Like, he really liked the self-wound changes. He thought, he was like, this is the most fun I've had in a long time. He just doesn't like a neutral focus meta. That's his personal taste and preference. Right? Doesn't have to be everybody's. But yeah, when that happens, he's not going to like it. I'm not at all surprised. I think I got a few points from that play. Oh my god. Keep in mind, I think Grav maybe plays at a bit higher MMR than you, Junk, but... So there is always less diversity the higher you go. I mean, my opponents aren't as diverse as like the decks I've been playing, right? Like when I see relics, I know what they have. When I see Scoia'tael, I know it's either elves or dwelves, and dwelves has 2 different decks, so it's like one of 3 decks is what ST players play. Nilfgaard does like 2 or 3. Syndicate, it's 2, really just 1. But that's the I don't know that that's a problem with game design so much as people gravitate towards what they think is the best. And the way the faction and MMR system works, it doesn't reward you for giving... Like, I don't get rewarded for getting a Death Wish deck and a Vampires deck and an AQ deck to 2600. I only get rewarded from one of them, so why should I bother? I'll just pick the one that I think is the best and focus my energy on that. That's another factor that reduces diversity at higher MMRs. Sorry, I'm still getting caught up on chat. ST is tier 0. ST is tier 0. What are you talking about? Rester, like, you're gonna say shit. You need to, like, this whole, like, oh, I can't imagine you said this thing. Like, I mean, let's pull up Gwent data, right? Top 500. Top 4 factions. Oh, look! Oh, look! Look at that! Look at that! Let me embarrass you a little bit on screen, because ST tier 0, kick W, kick W, kick W, kick W. Well, what do you say to this? The top 500, in their top 4 factions, it's all ST. Like it's the number 1 choice for this. You didn't say I don't think that's true, or you didn't say like I'm not sure that's correct, or really, or that doesn't match. You were like, kick W. This is so stupid. This is the stupidest thing I ever heard. In fact, it is the most pick number. Like, what? Why are you so confident? How are you so certain when you're the opposite of the truth? It would be like if I was like, I am 100% sure the Earth is flat. Like, just, it's fine to be wrong, but don't be like, dog, like, what? Yeah, Graf, sorry, you're getting lumped in with some other people because they don't know you and they're not reading the nuance of what you're saying. And Junk is asking Grav if he's tried to play my deck. Grav linked me a deck just like this, like weeks before I even played this deck or saw it on the ladder. Like, Grav is a connoisseur of decks like this. He doesn't. Like he creates his own decks. Like he's not a battle slave, and he's plenty creative. Yeah, they did revive Siege, they did revive Self Wound, they did revive dwarves, they did revive elves, they revived vampires too. Like all of this is in the past 6 months. What are people talking about? Like just divorced from reality. This negativity, like. Fine. If you're not having fun, you don't enjoy the game, great. You're entitled to that. But don't say shit like, I don't know, just don't say stuff that's obviously factually the opposite of the truth, and any trivial amount of research could tell you that. Just look at I had to point out to people, like, Off the Books wasn't meta like 3 months ago. They buffed it. I had an argument with one of my own mods in this channel. I had to point out the patch notes and be like, look, go look at the patch. I remember. How do you not remember? People's memories are so bad about this stuff. Akatosh, yeah. My deck just it's not even like I'm not the only care with it, but the deck I'm playing, it spits out a ton of points. And Rester, to your comment about the devs, it's Mr. Criticism. Like, I mean, part of it is like we haven't been engaging the devs in a productive way. Like getting on your stream and bitching about stuff and expecting them to do something about it because you and the people you talk to all agree is like not. I don't know. That's not what I would do if I wanted to achieve. If I wanted to influence someone, I would talk to them privately. And Spiro has done that recently, and he got a positive response, and they are listening to his feedback. Like, he had an email conversation with Vlad. Like, that's what you do. You're like, I think Paya was maybe frustrated because he had been given the feedback and it wasn't listened to. I'm guessing. I don't know what was going on with the tweet thing. But generally speaking, like, broadcasting dirty laundry is not going to get people to back down. It's going to get them to dig in. Whereas if you partner with them and say, hey, let's together fix this, what can I do to help you? They're more likely to listen to you. That's just a thing I've learned over time. Like, it doesn't matter how right you are. You have to get buy-in by not being confrontational and dismissive. And before somebody says something, I'm not trying to get chat's buy-in on shit. I don't need chat to agree with me on anything. I'm making fun of some people because to me they're mockable and their opinions should be mocked. If I'm CDPR or if I want chat to change their opinion, I would do something different. Okay? It's not two conflicting things. I'm an entertainer right now. I'm not a lobbyist. Watch win rates by faction. Win rates by faction, ST is up there too. What are you talking about? 61.1, 61.4, 61.13. Like, what are you talking about? On what measure, play rate by faction, is ST not good? Are you looking at this? Win rate by faction? Let's change it to top 100. Then it gets to NR. Play rate, ST is the most played. And in terms of it being in the everyone's top 4, ST is, again, the number one common thing in everyone's top 4. Everyone agrees ST is the best, followed by Syndicate, and then everybody else. Like, this is what matters. Because this is how you make your score. This is how you rank in the top 16, top 64. You pick which 4 factions you're going to focus on. And everybody who is good at the fucking game agrees that ST and SY are the 2 best factions. So when I say ST is tier 0, I wasn't looking at this chart, but it turns out I'm fucking right and you're fucking wrong. So just be wrong, admit that you were wrong, and, you know, I'll stop making fun of you. Gosh, the difference that does not look healthy? Buddy, these graphs are not... The legend does not start at 0. It's zoomed in like 64 to 59. This is 5 percentage points on a graph. It's like this so you can see the differences visually, but it assumes that you are not an illiterate man-child who can't see that the 0 is not there. Okay? Learn to read graphs before you have opinions about data. Scroll to the top and look at the win. So what? There's a priestess that has a really good win rate. So what? But a lot of people aren't even playing it in their top 4. Maybe because they think it's boring, or maybe because... I don't know why. But clearly, like... Everyone has ST and SY in their top 4. Not everyone has NR in their top 4. Only 15% compared to 22%. Oh, they're buffing Parson? No, they also changed, Jan. They added a leader charge and added provisions to off the books. A few patches ago. That was like 10.2 or 10.3. Any NG archetype, blah, blah. You can see the breakdown by common cards. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have any data on decks. Because this is all just off the ladder API, and all that you can see is like the faction, and that's it. CDPR has much better data, and I would love for them to share that with us. And people like Andre NL could do a lot more with that data. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. Why do you think Gwen's not growing then? I don't know. I'm not an analyst on why people do what they do. But I don't really care if a game's growing or whatever. I care if it's fun. Let's all just play some bandits and relax. Don't worry, we're not trying to agree with you. Try and listen to this probably. Blah, blah, blah. Sure, but every game goes down in popularity over time. No, I'm not mad. I'm just having fun debating stuff. Because it's fun to debate about things that don't matter. Wonder and Zoltan are ridiculous. They play for blah, blah, blah. Sure. But the most common ones I see is the Precision Strike Sensor deck with Dwarves and Elves. Yeah, the Tribal Shape Provision, yeah, which now gets them that high one. It's the Priestess deck, but it is a bit hard to play, and it has gotten worse lately, actually. So a lot of this win rate was early in the season before people figure out how to counter it and start attacking against it. Most people playing NR now are not playing Priestess. They're not, because they're having a harder time with it. But they already got those high scores the first week of the patch. So that's something else that you can't see in the data, but if you talk to top players, they'll tell you. Any ST hybrid decks with dwarfs are good. Yeah. Hey, Jake. Yeah, Mosh isn't mad. Snake knows. Gwent is a good game, period, but it goes good. Sure. That's true of every game, though. Plus 4 years old, so it probably goes slowly. Or I don't even know if it's growing. It might be shrinking. But again, I don't care. Like, if I'm having fun, I'm having fun. If I'm not, I'll do something else. I don't need social validation. I don't need other people to like something that I like for me to enjoy it. I enjoy it if I enjoy it. And if there's I enjoy it playing with other people, and if there weren't other people to enjoy it with, I would stop playing it, because that would affect my enjoyment of it. Crozier's playing Meditating Mages. Yeah, Crozier is like always looking for fun, creative stuff. Awesome. Okay, I have now caught up on chat. Sorry, that was an exciting conversation, and I wanted to make sure I've... Rester, I hope there's no hard feelings. I know I'm like dunking on you pretty hard, but it was just a very easy target. How much have you been playing for? So I have 3,600 hours played in the game. I was playing around, so maybe, let's see. These are my achievements. So I think I started playing 2 years ago based on what, nope, 3 years.